Hello, people of the internet. Kane Jones here. Going to be doing a review for Transformers. I think it's called Last Night. I really don't know. Yeah, I'm shooting this on my iPhone because I figured I'm not going to give this movie. I'm going to put in the same amount of effort into this review as this movie did to be making a movie. Maybe it's the worst film I've ever seen. Hope you enjoyed me pooping on this movie. Spoilers. I'm just gonna spoil it because just please save your time and money. Don't see this movie. So, this movie, uh, Transformers Last Night, directed by Michael Bay, and I think Mark Wahlberg's in this movie. There's a generic hot chick, Anthony Hopkins. He's in this one. He's in it. Who else? I think that John Turturro, the crazy guy from the first three, that he continuously just ruins himself, and it makes him in the movie makes no sense. By the way, the movie makes no effort to continue his character at all. He's there. He's in the movie. You don't understand it? Too bad. Who cares? I don't care. No one cares. This movie doesn't care. What else? What else is about this movie? Who else is in it? You gotta think of who else is in it. I'm not putting effort. There's some other people. I don't know. There's this little girl who's over sexualized, even though she's probably like 15 or 16 years old. Yeah. I mean, she said she's 14, but she's straight up wearing really short shorts and clean cleavage and tank top. Nope, no. You are 14. You put some clothes on that girl? No. It is no. No. Okay, so I think it was like Roger Ebert or somebody. Somebody said this. I'm not looking it up. Let's start when you're doing a review. Start with the positives. Okay. So I'm gonna try to start with the positives of this movie. Okay. The first good thing in this movie, it doesn't look bad. Like, hey, the CGI is pretty good. It looks like there's some practical effects. I love that. That's like the best thing in the movie. It doesn't look terrible. There are some shots and some scenes that do look really bad. One thing I noticed, I didn't. It was only during a couple scenes that I personally noticed it. Was just the aspect ratio. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but essentially went from full screen to like widescreen, and then full screen, widescreen. So like the screen kept on changing. It got a little distracting in a couple scenes. It was really annoying. That's the one thing I noticed. I really don't notice that much because who notices that? Yeah, but hey, we gotta talk about good things. It looks good. It looks good. What else was a good thing? Okay, another good thing. It's other than the first Transformers movie, this is the shortest Transformers movie. So I only had to stay it through 2.5 hours. Yeah. It was pretty short. It felt like it was 5 hours long. There was many times when I would be checking at my looking at my phone. It was like, hey, what time is it? I don't know, it felt like the movie wouldn't end. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's short. That's a positive. It's positive, okay? Okay, another good thing. This is like one of the last good things. The acting wasn't bad. It was actually pretty okay. Mark Wahlberg is Mark Wahlberg. He's likable. I mean, I like Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg. So I want to say Anthony Hopkins or the old man, whatever. I really forgot his name. Pretty sure it's Anthony Hopkins. Excuse me. I want to say he's good, but like, there are some lines and there's some things that he has to say and do. No, I don't want to see him do that. Anthony Hopkins is a great actor. He's an amazing actor, one of the greatest of all time. No, he he doesn't care. This was a paycheck. He needed some money, so he was like, "Hey, hit me up with that Transformers money, boy. Give me that Michael Bay money, boy, boy." He got money. He got bank. That's Anthony Hopkins. The little girl's okay. I didn't like her character, but like her acting was pretty good. The voice acting was, I couldn't understand it some of the times, but overall it was pretty okay. A lot of the side actors weren't that good, but yeah. What else? What else is good about this movie? So the this movie and I'm not sure how many good things I have in this. There's one joke that I really really liked. It was really the only joke that I was laughing at. That I'm pretty sure was supposed to be funny, and it was really basically, you know how Bumblebee has this messed up voice box, and it's like, I'm gonna talk in this voice, and I'm gonna he had a bunch of different voices because he just uses the radio. Well, there's this guy who's like, hey, I'm gonna show up in the movie randomly because plot. And he's like, hey, I got a new voice box for B. And he's like, oh, sweet. And then they do some, like, robot surgery. It's like, okay. They do the robot surgery. And he's like, hey, I talk like a girl now. And I'm a... And it was really stupid, but I laughed. And it was like, there's a funny joke. I liked it. It was pretty stupid, but I liked it. There's a joke. Okay, so that's about all the good things I can say about this movie. Now I'm going to go into... I'm basically just going to tell you what happens in the movie, because this is, I said this is going to be a spoiler review, because I'm not going to I want to talk about the spoilers, but I don't want to make 2 videos. Don't see this movie. This is your last chance if you don't want to get into, like, what happens in the movie. I'm going to be spoiling the heck out of this movie. Yeah, let's get into it. So, from what I can recall, this movie starts off with that little girl person I was talking about saving a group of kids. Now, this scene makes no sense. No, wait, no, that's not what the movie starts off with. It starts off with, like, the Knights of the Round Table, like, Lancelot storyline. Basically, Merlin's all like, hey, I found a Transformer, and I got magic now. Then there's a dragon, and the fight scenes during that whole thing actually looks pretty cool. I gotta give Michael Bay some credit there. He can direct some good action. But once the movie actually starts, and you start hear the dialogue, and Merlin starts speaking, and King Arthur starts speaking, and everyone else starts speaking, and it's just like, boy, no! You need to stop! Like, the dialogue is so poorly written, it makes no sense. It just makes me want to just... No, who wrote this movie? You need to stop. You need to stop! Take a screenwriting class! Learn how to do things! Oh my god! Oh no! So after all the wizard, Merlin, King Arthur stuff happens, go back to present day, and then there's a whole thing with the girl saving this group of kids who are like, hey, let's sneak into a Transformer area. I guess there's Transformer areas now. And they go like, hey, we found a Transformer and it's alive. And then, that girl shows up, the little girl, her name is Isabella, with a Z. With a Z, guys. It's with a Z. Anyways, and so she saves them from, I think, like basically anti-transform. It's another one of the government ran things where, like, hey, we don't like Transformers, but, like, there's a lot of governments in this movie. Listen, this movie is so draining, I don't even want to explain the rest of it. There's so many bad things about this movie. I'm just going to go through a normal review. I'm just going to go back to my regular format. I'm still going to keep all that stuff in because I'm not going to put effort into this movie. review because they didn't put any effort in this movie. They didn't care about the writing. They didn't care about anything. If you like, if you like other Transformers movies, like if you liked 1, 2, 3, 4, if you loved all of them, you're probably gonna like this movie. But if you care about anything, if you know what a good movie is, if you can recognize flaw in movie, and if you think any movie's good, and if you don't think any movie's, this movie's so draining for me. It makes me so angry and anxious, and I've never been so confused and violated after walking out of a film before I saw that film. After I saw it, it made no sense. It continuously contradicted itself. So in the other series. So remember how at the end of the third movie, Megatron dies. Remember that, where it's like this really cool scene where it's like Optimus Prime kills Sentinel Prime and Megatron. And then at the end of the fourth one, they uploaded Megatron's consciousness into that one weird robot who's all like, "Hey, I'm new Megatron." That didn't happen in this movie, I guess. Megatron still has the old Megatron design. He doesn't have the cool new design, which I loved the new design. Like, I thought that was really cool. No, not in this one. Now he's got regular Megatron design, which makes no sense. It takes 5 seconds to explain it. Jesus. I need to calm down. What else happens in this movie that made me angry? Okay, they freaking stole stuff from Suicide Squad, the worst movie of last year. They decided, hey, let's make Suicide Squad. So there's a scene. There is a scene where Megatron makes a deal with the government to get a couple people, like of his friends, his Decepticon friends, to get a deal with them for them to get it released. And he's all like, hey, I wanted this guy. And they cut to him, and there's music, there's like cool, like there's like a burp, 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 like a uppity pop song playing in the background. And it cuts to the guy that he wants released. And it tells about what he did, why he's in there. Has like a thing where you see his face and then it pops up his name. That's Suicide Squad. That's how, when they're getting the Suicide Squad together, it's straight up from Suicide Squad. Why would you take a movie, why would you steal something from a movie that was so bad? Like, if you're gonna steal something from a bad movie, make it better, make it good. Like, this movie makes Suicide Squad look good. When I finished Suicide Squad, I wasn't angry, I was disappointed. I had no expectations for Transformers last night, and it still made me angry. It made me disappointed. It made me... Okay, so the advertisement. This is what will be the next thing I talk about. Advertisement of this movie. So, advertisement. So, who's all over the trailers? Who's all over the posters? Who's all over everything advertising this movie? It's Optimus Prime, you know. I'm Optimus Prime. I make speeches. I'm Optimus Prime. So, Optimus Prime probably has 15 to 20 minutes of screen time. He's barely in the movie. He makes a glorified cameo, and I'm just like, boy, you could have just. That's like in Force Awakens, you know, the new Star Wars movie that came out in 2015. We're like, hey, let's have Luke all over the posters and all over the trailers, and then he's not in the movie in the very last second. That's what this movie did. It makes no sense in the slightest. You know, there's a whole, like, they hype up the whole thing where Optimus is up against all the Transformers, all the good Transformers, and Bumblebee. He only fights the Transformers once. He fights Bumblebee once. Bumblebee somehow figures out how to speak his normal language, like his normal voice, and he's like, "Please, Optimus, stop it." Optimus is all like, "Oh, hey, I recognize your voice. I'm gonna be good now." And the villain, the villain. I don't even know who the villain is. So it's Megatron, I think. But Megatron is working for the government, but the government ends up being good and starts helping the Optimus and things. So Megatron's like, hey, let's work with the person who made Optimus bad. But like, how did they start working together? They never once showed them talking or working together. So this movie makes no sense. Just attempt to make sense, and I'll take you seriously. I yeah. Back to a normal review. Let's take it back, dial it down, and just start talking about what would normally be in my reviews. Take that as a summary of this movie. Okay, so after I do talk about the summary, I talk about the acting, which I kind of already did. So cinematography, I also already talked about, and so I'll talk about it a little more. It looks okay. It's really cinematography. What it needed to do is zoom out. Like when there's this part in the end of the movie where they're trying to get one MacGuffin to another MacGuffin, and so they're focusing on Mark Wahlberg and the girl, the eye candy, and they're like, "Hey, let's focus on them. Focus the camera on them." When there's this, what I assume would be an amazing battle going all around them, and I'm just like, "Boy, you have this amazing battle, but you're gonna focus the camera on the eye candy and Mark Wahlberg. What are you doing with your life, boy? Boy, no." So music, it was noise. I mean, like the sound was okay, but it was really just noise. And it was like, there was actually a pretty okay joke when there was this really long exposition scene. It's like 5-10 minutes. It feels like 5-10 minutes. Actually, feels more like 15, but whatever. There's a really long exposition scene, and Anthony Hopkins is telling Mark Wahlberg, an attractive girl, expedition. This is what this is, and you need your father and Sam Witwicky and George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And, man, I don't want to anymore. Anyways, there's this robot who's like a British robot, and he's all like, "Yeah, I'm a British robot," and he's starts like singing and playing piano. And then it cuts to Anthony Hopkins like, "Stop with that piano!" And then he starts singing later, and he's like, "Stop with the singing!" It's a little bit of funny joke, but it's like a, haha, you made a funny joke. It was okay. It was regional at best. Yeah, that's the music. I mean, it's just noise. The direction, no. Michael Bay knows how to direct action. He's a really good action director. I'll have to give him that. Well, he doesn't know how to direct people, how to direct a scene. He doesn't know how to do anything. He's using different cameras for the same scene. So that's not how you do things. Michael Bay, you need to, that's like, okay, it's like me making a movie, and there's 3 people having a conversation. Okay? Whenever one person's talking, I'll use a GoPro, where it's like a fisheye camera. And then with another person, I'm going to use my iPhone, where it's meh quality. And then when another person's talking, I'm going to use an IMAX camera. That's how Michael Bay likes to direct his movies. He likes to use a bunch of different cameras that don't mesh well together, and it makes no sense. It's very jarring. Entertaining. This movie is entertaining. No, it's not. This movie, if you like really racist jokes, if you can see past flaws and constant flaws and errors and plot holes in everything, then you maybe will like this movie. If you liked the other Transformers movies that, like, if you loved 4 and you loved 2, you're going to love this movie because you obviously don't know what a good film is. I hate this movie so much. So much. I'm just going to give it an F. I'm going to leave. Yeah, this movie gets an F. D minus. Because, D. I'm going to give it a D. Because of the performances were mediocre and it looked okay. Yeah, this is hey, it's been a while since I've posted. That's the thing. Yeah, so it's been a while since I posted, and I'm gonna post a couple more videos. I'll try to go back to daily-ish. I'm going on a trip next week. I'm going to be going to Tennessee, and so I'll just be doing a couple potato videos. I'll do a couple covers. I'll do a couple reviews. I've seen a lot of movies lately, and I want to review a couple shows I've been watching. I've been watching The Office. I've been watching Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Yeah, I've seen a lot of movies. Colossal, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah, I mean, it's like, come back to the channel. I'm going to try to get it up and going again. Hope you guys enjoyed this rant video. Hope you thought it was funny or something like that. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, fam.